my channel. I can do whatever I want to. That's the whole point. It's YouTube. That's me. It's MeTube. Right now. Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Eric.
And welcome back to Marvel Mania. Today, we are tackling the third and final Blade movie. Don't be confused by this box. This is a box of 4 Blade things, but one of them is just the pilot to the short-lived Spike TV show. Ignore that. That's not a movie. We won't be doing that.
Co-created by Jeff Jones.
This is Blade Trinity, which is a movie that I both dislike and don't remember.
Oh, I remember this movie quite well.
So, I'm going to watch this movie again with Eric to find out why I don't like it. I'm real excited about it. Today's commentary is brought to you by Mountain Dew, and apparently Titanfall 2, because for some reason Mountain Dew is constantly advertising video games.
It's brought with real sugar.
And Pepsi. So, it's brought to you by the same company. And we're going to go ahead and get straight into it. David Goyer's, I almost said directing debut. I don't know if this is the first thing he directed. I feel like it was.
I don't know. I want to say he makes like a crappy horror movie or something, but I might be wrong.
Okay, so the movie that most people probably think is David Goyer's directing debut. And we're going to go ahead and just get right into it. If you want to watch
those people that know David Goyer, the people that don't go, who's he?
Right, yes.
Assume that this is his directing debut.
Now, I know for the majority of us, or possibly all of us, I've never talked to one person that really likes this movie. I have talked to other people who don't remember this movie, just like me. But I know want is a real strong word, but if you want to watch it with us, for the sake of our talking while we're watching it, get your DVD or your Blu-ray, or which I'm sure you stole from someone. However you want to watch it, get it to timestamp 0, and get ready to press play whenever I say now. Eric, I also know ready is a strong word, but are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Everybody,
I know this film pretty all right.
If you're gonna, he didn't say he thinks this film is all right. He says he knows this film. All right, because he's a crazy person. Either his mind is a steel trap, or he's watched this more than once.
I was a teenager.
So you watched it more than once?
I watched it more than once. I've also seen Van Helsing more than once. I've seen Van Helsing a number of times.
I saw Van Helsing in the theater.
So did I.
And
I walked out of the theater and I said, that is my favorite movie.
No, you did.
Yes, I did.
Really?
Yeah, that was like the third movie that year that was my favorite movie.
I walked out of that movie laughing, and everyone in the hallway was asking me why. That's what happened with Van Helsing.
Your response was the correct response.
Yeah, right, yes. No, I'm aware. But I was older and wiser.
We're rebooting it with Tom Cruise now, so it's cool.
I was older, wiser, and a great deal more humble. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Everybody, if you'd like to watch it with us, press play when I say now. Here we go. Everybody, please press play right now!
I've also seen all 3 of the versions of this film, or the versions of the ending, so I don't remember how this movie ends. There are one of 3 ways, and I know one of them is not the way it ends.
Can we please recut it like Clue? Can we please do it? Or it might have happened like this!
We're not plugged in.
No, we're not plugged in. Everybody's listening to Blade right along with us. Hold on. Is this movie in my head yet? Yes, this movie is now in my head.
Yep, there it is.
In the movies, Dracula wears a cape.
Hey, Deadpool. Look, we're looking at a pool of dead. But it didn't start with Blade.
No, in the beginning,
this movie, that's not exactly true.
In the beginning, there was Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
That's what we learned. See, there is a through line through all of these movies that we're doing on Marvel Mania. I'm getting really reared up.
I feel like that's a place that we've shot in a number of films. But I'm sure it's a model, and I'm completely wrong.
Meanwhile, back at the pyramids.
No, I don't think it's overkill where Hamlet's in the desert where no one is. Maybe I am goose-stepping, what of it?
Oh man, this movie's so edgy.
Man, I hate it when the guy at the window when I'm trying to get my burgers flips me off.
No, I think it's supposed to be telling us that they're vampires and screw the sun.
Yeah, that's what it is. Now that you say that, I do mildly. I mildly remember.
Fast food.
I
Is
sort
that
of.
Star-Lord mask?
No, I said that because you were doing that. and so he sounds like a guy at the pickup window. Sometimes having armor.
Oh, that was the wrong block.
Sometimes we've all done that in some video game somewhere. Sometimes armor that like etches out your spine looks cool, and sometimes it's silly. I don't know why that is.
They're
Like
totally wearing
spine
These
armor.
are totally Star-Lord masks.
The Star-Lord mask, you think?
Yeah. Wait till you get a good shot of them in the light. Oh, they're taking all their helmets off.
Now we'll never get to see it.
They totally.
All right, everybody, let's roll back. No, okay. All right, I'm with you. Let's not do that. Let's not spend any more time here than we have to.
So,
Oh, hey, how's it going, 2009 Spock?
So
I'm not saying that's Zachary Quinto. I'm saying he looks a little bit like Zachary Quinto,
the girl in this, whose name I can't recall,
or someone cosplaying Zachary
Missy
Quinto.
something. Maybe it's Missy Pyle, Missy something, Missy. I don't know. The girl in this movie is also right around this time in Superman Returns. She's Lex's assistant.
Oh.
Both of them kind of weird career choices. She's like a weird indie film actress. I'm not sure why she's here. He's definitely a Vulcan.
Yeah, he totally looks like a Vulcan or a Romulan.
Oh, hey, only actor I didn't recognize. Didn't see that coming.
You're expendable because you're not famous.
Ooh.
Oh, look, somebody gave the Power Rangers movie more money.
I have always said he looks like a Power Rangers monster with more budget.
He looks specifically like the monsters they fight in the movie when they're going after the ninja powers,
No,
right?
that's always
The
been
guards
criticism I've had of the
at
third
the-
act of this film is when Blade fights him. He looks like a Power Rangers monster on a slightly higher budget.
Hey, we did this shot in Daredevil. I remember it. Not from our commentary, because... Oh, and we did that shot, too.
David Goyer also remembers it.
With the rat. I remember it not from our commentary because we weren't watching the movie. I remember it from years ago.
I made
watching
a
that
joke
movie.
when I went out to smoke where you
I
you
think
were,
that's going to explode.
where you said you were gonna start the movie without me, and I was like, that's okay. I'm
Look,
not gonna.
I keep telling you how good I am at calling things in movies, Eric. And that's not because I remembered this, okay? I hardly remember this movie. I knew there was going to be an explosion there. You have to give me that.
But
Okay, but that is a cool way to introduce him, right? That looks great.
yeah, I forgot. I forgot that they go to the temple at the beginning. I would not have remembered all of the beginning of this movie. But we are going to get to see that cool knife that I've been talking about since the first movie.
Nothing wrong with the opening. I mean, except for that voiceover a little
Yeah.
bit. Some of the things you were pointing out there. Those guns are just ridiculous and over the top.
Those are the guns he's always had.
Okay, but they're ridiculous and they're over the top. And I'm remembering that and commenting on it because we're talking over a commentary. What if I end up liking this time? What if that happens?
You're not going to end up liking
this. Is it like Hulk? I don't mean it's like Hulk.
No.
I mean that I think maybe there's a chance and then there is no chance.
No,
is it like that?
No, this is going to completely fall apart the second we get to like the plot of the movie. But there it is. That's that cool knife that my friend had a replica of. That's super dangerous to own a replica of. Look at that! It's on like a chain thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you say it did that?
Yeah,
That
it does
shoots
that.
out?
It shoots out.
Didn't you say you killed someone with it?
No.
Oh,
well,
was
but
that some other story that you told
That
me
might have
about
been
someone
some
that
other story.
accidentally killed someone with a
oh
knife?
no, that's a sword that was poorly constructed that they bought at a mall.
And they like whipped it out. And
then the blade came
went
out.
right. Okay.
No, but that blade you could kill someone
That's a
with on
different
accident,
dangerous
maybe
thing.
even yourself, because if you have the replica, it shoots out on like a stretchy metal cord. So the way centrifugal force works is when you shoot it out, it comes back. But it's super cool.
You're right. That's just basic physics.
Yeah.
That's what would happen.
Yeah.
You put it on a rope. If it wasn't on a rope, it would keep going.
So far, stylistically,
This is fun.
this looks all right.
Yep.
If this is David Goyer's first movie, he definitely learned some lessons from working on other films.
Yeah. And it's a lot more upbeat than the other two movies are when they open, so it's trying to separate itself out but still feel like it's in that universe and that it belongs. I mean, we talked about how the second movie doesn't tonally feel exactly like the first. Like,
and this one doesn't either.
They're moving along and trying to evolve a little bit. And right now, this is just a fun, over-the-top action movie.
Yeah.
This is just another day at the office for Blade. And maybe we got him to a place at the end of last movie where he can be like this here.
It does look a little Batman Beginsy, and I'm wondering how much of an influence working with Christopher Nolan has had on this movie. Because this comes out same year or year right before Begins. Like, he has to be working on Begins when he's working on this movie.
We know this is 04, because that's the year we're in right now.
Yeah.
We don't have to look up years right now. We know where we're at. Yeah, and so his part on Begins has to have been over by now.
I would think. Or he's working on that script while he's directing this movie.
Yeah. I guess that's possible, but if... because, I mean, this comes out in 04.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this was fun. It's dragging a little.
Yeah, it is.
It's going on too long.
This is kind of telegraphing we're not really going to tell a story in this movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't...
Whether we do or not, right now it's kind of saying we want to be a music video. And, like...
And that car
flip
is, like, 40 seconds too late.
The opening scenes of both the first two movies of Memory Serves, but especially the first one, go on for a long time, but deliberately so, and for a reason, and we're introducing characters, and we're establishing tone and figuring out what kind of a world we're in the movie. Now, if you watch the first two movies, you already know what the world is like, and so you're supposed to just be enjoying Blade doing Blade things.
Mm-hmm.
But you could make the argument that's why you don't make that a long scene, right? Yeah. You get through that so we can start establishing the meat of the movie.
Yeah. What makes this film different? I've seen Blade kill vampires before. It's a little too long.
Yeah, this time, what are the spices on that, in that sausage?
Now, this is immediately a problem starting this movie. We're told in the first movie, he says to the girl, he can tell a vampire by how they move.
Yeah.
They just move differently than humans, and Blade can pick up on it. This man is a human being. He didn't dust. How did Blade make that mistake? It should not be possible for Blade to make that mistake. He can tell how vampires are from how they move.
Why are you smarter? That's... Huh. So the rules have suddenly changed.
His abilities, I guess.
We've just retconned that. Does he ever use it in this movie?
Just being able to tell that somebody's a vampire?
Yeah. Because that's one of his abilities. Does he use it?
I don't remember.
And I feel like that is a real easy thing to believably contrive. Right?
Yeah.
If he's trying to fake being a vampire, then
how has this never been an issue before? Like,
maybe there's more to it than just the fake teeth. Now, I do not remember anything about this movie. Why is he pretending to be a vampire?
They're framing Blade. Now,
okay.
So here's the problem with that.
That's an obvious place to go, but all right.
Well, and here's the problem with that.
I have reviewed this movie. You can go find out what previous Captain Logan felt about this. Right now, I'm going to learn why I wrote things down I wrote.
Here's the problem with framing Blade like this.
Boy, that computer is... You know, I should write down Max. I want to do that. I want to... Old Max... date movies.
This movie is built
I bet we got two and that's
on this idea that, like...
Max.
The only reason anyone, like, it would be after Blade after the situation is because that guy was there.
I forget where the other one was.
Like, if this scene played out exactly the same, but the dude Blade shot went into ashes, everything would be fine.
Oh, it was Hulk.
The world wouldn't know. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Either you're living in a world where you can have these over-the-top action scenes and people don't notice.
Yeah.
Or you're not.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Because the first movie really establishes it as the vampire world is like a world behind the world, but a lot of people know about it. They're just not talking about it. We're kind of pretending like it's not there. It's just like Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people know there's demons.
Yeah. But yeah, it does.
Publicly, that's not. We like officially, these things don't exist.
This movie like exists on this weird reality where like as long as there's not a body, nothing bad can happen.
And we're already at a place where somebody would have taken pictures of that.
Yep.
Right?
Well, and we just got. I talked about in the previous 2 movies. We're finally here where we just keep getting easier with the serum. He just got like a breath inhaler. That's all he has to do now.
Well, at least we didn't ignore the action scene. At least it's on the news.
Well, but it's only on the news because there's a human there. Like, the way this movie is playing is that if that human had been a vampire and then dusted, no one would notice. No one would be... The only reason Blade gets caught here is because he shot a human and there's a body.
Okay, but there wouldn't be a lot of evidence to point you back to Blade if there wasn't a human, right?
There was a helicopter. Like, with a spotlight, and there was news footage.
But is there any, like, specific physical evidence because of the human that, like, leads anyone back to Blade specifically?
No.
Okay.
Just that Blade was there and they have him on camera.
Yeah, okay, but I guess I guess what I'm saying, Eric, I don't mean to argue with you about this, but okay, there's helicopters and stuff, but if there's no body, there really isn't any evidence unless somebody's recording video.
But people
and then
were
you're talking
recording
about
video.
Vampire. Well, yeah.
And that's the thing is that the way that they play it is like if Blade had killed a vampire.
Did we see video playback?
I thought so. Maybe not.
It was just an anchor at the scene.
Okay. It's still.
I'm just saying if there's no evidence and no body, there's not necessarily a crime. There wouldn't be anything for them to go after him about.
Yeah, but it's weird that like we have this big action scene and like it seems like the movie is working on this logic of like, well, we total all these cars, but no one would have noticed or commented on it.
Yeah, sure.
It's not the actual killing of the person; it's the action scene around it. Hey, he's got Wolverine hair.
That's not hair.
Spikes.
Those are spikes. He's got Wolverine spikes if the spikes were hair. He looks a little bit like a smaller version of the Beast from Angel Season 4.
Yes, he does.
That was cool.
I don't know who this guy is, like, as an actor. I don't know if he's done anything ever again. He's just the most pedestrian casting for Dracula.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
Like, why would you
pedestrian's
cast
a good word?
This guy as Dracula?
Because they're trying to make Dracula a different thing, but you could still do a young Dracula.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with him being young. I have an issue with him being a nobody actor that like is just a pretty boy. Like he has no presence. He's a hip, cool Dracula.
I said the same thing.
And you can go see that if you go to the rewind.
Yeah, previous Captain Logan. That guy looks like he should be cast as an ancient Egyptian constantly.
Mm.
And he also looks a little bit like the guy who plays Sabretooth, except he doesn't have that kind of presence.
Yeah.
I mean, in Origins.
Yeah. Liev Schreiber.
Liev Schreiber, thank you. He looks like that guy.
Yeah. He just
like Schreiber's continue to get word. He's on a TV show.
He's an actor. Like he was a name before he was Sabretooth.
Yeah. But like that didn't hurt him. He just kept going.
Well, he didn't do any more like blockbuster movies.
Yeah, that's true.
That looks like an Iron Man armor. So this guy, not the police captain, but the psychiatrist guy.
If my name was Bentley Tittle, I would change it for television.
Especially if I'm captain of the police.
Yeah. And I'm Bentley Tittle. Ready to answer your calls. I'm sorry, you were saying something.
So this guy here, he's a psychiatrist in this movie. I know him from this movie. This is my first experience with this actor.
Okay.
After this, I only see him in comedic roles. He's a recurring character in Arrested Development. I think he shows up on Community. It's really weird because when I see him, this is what I think of is this movie. but I've only seen him in comedic roles, and he's got real comedic chops as like a real straight man. Oh yeah, he is in Community. He's the Carpe Diem teacher. He's really fun. It's weird that he's in this movie to me.
Yeah, this is problematic right out the gate, just as you said. Trying to make... Yeah, we didn't work hard enough to make that a natural initial break in status quo, and
well, and because it's entirely Blade's fault. It's not like the vampires escalated a situation to the point where he got noticed. Blade was doing what Blade was doing.
And it happens because we forgot, as you said, that he has the ability to see vampires. Like, the reason that's never happened before is because it couldn't have happened.
And we apparently...
And now suddenly it can
And we exist in a universe where car chases are not a big enough deal that
so we had to change what it was in order to, like what this movie series is, just to contrive...
Oh, we changed all the rules just to contrive this premise.
His being outed to the public like that.
And if I recall...
And I don't know that Blade being outed to the public is necessarily a bad idea.
No, I don't either. That does seem like a logical step. You can come up with a way more organic
way to do that.
Yeah.
And then it has to be about this world coming to terms with the vampire underbelly, right? Like, more than it has. And make it all about that.
And as I recall, this
movie really isn't about that.
And this movie's going to forget that this plot thread exists like halfway through the movie.
Oh, man.
As I recall. So, I have a friend that actually had a thing like that.
That is so stereotypical. You always have to have a big thing of bread sticking out at the top of a grocery bag.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? We always do that.
And that one's not even like in a bag or anything. That guy did that like skull thing.
Yeah.
I had a friend that had a thing like that. He went to Walmart. You were not allowed to wear that in Walmart.
Whoa.
You can't have your face covered in Walmart.
So she just like wandered off the set of Seventh Heaven, and then she's getting attacked by these guys. See, I'm telling you, they would not have even noticed her if she didn't have bread sticking out.
It's because she's got a baby. That's what they said.
Oh, I didn't even notice that she had a baby.
Yeah, one of them's like, "Ooh, baby on board."
Uh-huh.
But see, it's not a baby.
Oh yeah, it turns out not to be a baby, right?
Yeah. No.
Yeah, because she's not a mother.
It's a stupid joke.
Why would you say it out loud?
They're confused.
Why would you say... Thanks, Eric. Because they're generic movie characters.
So we talked about how in the first movie, or in the second movie, we toned down the F-bombs from the first movie. We're right back to the first movie. Like, clearly that was a decision by Del Toro.
But this movie isn't going to earn that. Here's the problem. This movie feels like a PG-13 family action movie.
Yep.
Family's the wrong word,
but
you know what I mean. It looks too mainstream.
Yeah.
And it's pandering real hard to that audience, even though it's a rated R movie.
Yeah.
That's a giant misstep.
Which we do.
Oh, sure.
We make lots of rated R movies
but we hadn't been doing that with this series.
No.
And that's one of the things I liked about it.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun with it, but it didn't have to be this dumb. And it could be this silly and still be a little bit smart about it.
That's clearly entirely CGI.
Yeah.
Oh, see, he said a thing to her, and then she said it back to him.
Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Clearly the man that wrote Batman Begins.
I am, yeah, that's a good point. Whoa, how'd she do that?
I don't know. It was so cool.
Really, I hope we don't degenerate into Scooby-Doo in this, where by the end, everything starts with the letter R. We're just like, ruh-roh, Blade! Brain!
What you gonna do, Brain? So, we've thrown some red into his costume, and I don't know how I feel about it.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Because it's different.
We've also given him this He-Man thing that I think is unnecessary.
Yeah.
So, fun fact about this scene... Wesley Snipes wanted to do it upside down. Like a bat.
Oh.
But you can't meditate when all the blood is going to your face.
Blade can.
But Wesley Snipes cannot.
Oh, did he try it?
Yeah, and they said it looked
Did
terrible.
he go upside down?
Yeah.
He was like, I saw the scene in the Batman movie from 1989, and I argued with a friend for 3 hours about whether or not Bruce Wayne was sleeping or exercising.
I want people to have the same.
And I was like,
right.
I want people to go out after they've seen my movie, and I want them to argue about whether or not I was sleeping or if I was meditating.
And now they found him.
I'm starting to find that voice a little bit.
Yeah,
that was closer.
Yeah.
Earlier, before we were recording, it was Batman, and I've been trying to evolve it to something more like Blade. Yeah, and it was Wolverine for a bit. Yeah, I just gotta talk about sleeping upside down. That's how you find your Blade voice. It's like if you want to be Londo, you gotta talk about Mr. Garibaldi. Actually, that's a good way to get into the Blade voice, too. Mr. Garibaldi. Yeah.
So...
Kaboom!
So
Kaboom, kablam!
just so everyone knows, we're routing this information.
Called that, too. That's because I've seen this, though.
Yeah.
That one I did remember because I've seen this movie. Wow, what OS are you running? Dude, it's 2004. OS X has been out for at least, what, a year or two?
It's too trackable, man.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So he's
got to crack into those computers like that.
That's true. That's a good point. So he's got to go back to OS. I mean, it was pre-7, I'm pretty sure. I haven't thought about Macs in a long time. I was a Mac guy up until I moved out of my parents' house.
That's like a kill shot to me. Like, at the very least, he's going to bleed out. I know he doesn't make it through this, but I don't think it's from that gunshot. I'm pretty sure he explodes. I think we have a really dramatic, like, building explosion with Whistler in it, which I'll talk about when we get to, because I have issues with it. 2 issues.
Wow.
Oh, man, he flipped him off! It's so cool!
Yeah. Boy, isn't that edgy?
Oh, this movie's so edgy, man.
We're not kidding when we say this movie is edgy. We mean what we meant in the 90s. It's edgy. Like,
oh, yeah.
That's a criticism. This movie is too edgy.
Yeah. Okay.
That kind of edgy. Okay, there's too much explosion. I can't see what's happening. Okay, good job. Pyrotechnics, and it's not CG. I'm so impressed. Good job.
Yeah. That guy's somebody. Oh, that's Dexter's dad.
Oh, yeah, that is who that is. Boy, he's young here.
Yeah. So, I have 2 problems.
Totally almost pulled out my arm from my socket when I was doing that. Anyway,
I have 2 problems
Your turn.
with Whistler's death.
I'm gonna recover. Whistler's death?
Yeah, with Whistler's death. So, problem number 1: what was the point of bringing him back if we were just going to immediately murder him in the next movie?
Right away.
Problem number 2.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real bad.
I talked about that.
Oh, that was
I remember that part.
That was a bad face.
Sorry about this face, but I don't want to be in this movie right now.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
And you can tell through
Yes,
this
you can.
whole movie. Which we'll
They
talk
wouldn't
about
let me be
that
upside down. Now I'm pissed. I don't want to be in this movie anymore.
But
okay, he's gonna turn into
You've
Mr.
already-
T.
you've-
He's gonna turn into Mr. T. And sorry,
you've already brought this character back from the dead.
I like wearing
can't
red.
kill them off screen in an explosion. You can't do it. Because I don't believe Whistler's dead. Whistler is dead because we don't get any more movies, but I don't believe he's dead.
yeah, that's a really good point.
We already brought him back.
How
You
easy
killed
would it be to
him off screen like
retcon? We did it last time.
that. Yeah.
We were like, no, he didn't die. And the way they did it in 2 was effective enough. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're right. You kill him off screen. But he needed... That character of all characters needed his head cut off.
Yep.
And there needed to be a funeral so we could put it on this board.
Don't worry, we will get bare-chested villain.
Good. There's one of those in every one of these. Right?
Yeah,
In all 3 Blade movies.
Yep.
Yeah. He doesn't say the power of the sun on the palm of my hand, right?
See what's going to happen is that cop, he's going to leave the room, and then that
I
cop...
did like the way he delivered sick as F bomb. Sorry.
But that guy's going to leave, and the other cop's going to stay. He's going to teach Blade that he's doing all wrong, and he has to have a code if he's going to kill people. There's a certain way to do it.
So how come TV guy got to be his psychiatrist? That seems a little convenient to me.
Yeah.
Or did they call him intentionally?
Unless he's the
'cause they
blade
were
specialist.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I read this scene initially. I can't read this scene as anything but comedy because I know this guy's a comedic actor. And he always plays really straight-laced.
Yeah, so it feels like there's always subtext of comedy.
Yeah.
Even if the character is supposed to be totally...
Yeah. I like that.
Reminds me a little bit of...
I like that.
What? I'm sorry, I was talking.
He says, can you tell me who's in the White House right now? And he goes, an a-hole. That's good.
No, that is good. And that's the thing he would have said in one of the other two movies.
Yeah.
That's the thing you can't help but count. And that makes it more frustrating, right? Where you're like, oh no, there's sparks of what we liked about these movies.
Yeah. Anyways, what were you saying?
It's the same kind of... I've never seen this guy in anything, but if he's supposed to be a comedic actor, what he's doing is kind of like a Stephen Colbert.
Yes, that's exactly the kind of character he plays usually.
But he sounds like he's making fun of him. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. He should be like, stop messing with me. That's what psychiatrists are. That's the most obvious thing to go to. Yeah, and we got to see a lot of time with her unnecessarily too.
Yeah. I killed her.
Somebody killed her, and that made me who I am today, and then I had to kill her. It was real tragic. It was the whole thing. I tell you what, I got a DVD right here. You can see the whole thing. I'll just show you my first movie.
Wait, did Whistler just die? He came back.
He came back. And then he died.
Let's say loud things over top of each other. It's real big drama.
Does we thought blown up Whistler show up in Blade the series? Does he come back at the beginning of that, or is that even in canon with this stuff?
It's in canon.
Is
kind
it?
of.
Okay.
It's a nebulous amount of time later.
What is Chthon? House of...
It's a vampire house.
Chthon.
Like you know, like there's
no
the glyphs
vowel between the H and the T.
It's
I don't
Chthon.
know. Chthon? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, it's Chthon.
Oh, okay. You could have done that with like a umlaut.
It's like Cthulhu.
Or not an umlaut. What the heck am I talking about? With like a glottal stop.
Not to bring everything back to Lovecraft, but it's like Cthulhu. It's Chthon.
Just gonna shut DVDs of people. Anyway, this is still going on, except now it's creepy.
Yeah. Wow,
Wait, did he get drugged or something? Is that what's going on? I wasn't watching this movie. I was looking at Chthon.
He injected him, and now he's revealing that he's working for the vampires.
Oh. Well, I got that once he did the thing with the... Because I paid attention to like 3 or 4 scenes in Blade 1, and I remember that they have those symbols.
Okay, yeah, he is getting drugged. That's why we're doing the voice filter
they're owned by vampires. I remember that whole thing.
Yep, and that's
why we saw the symbols at the beginning of the movie, right?
And those glyphs represent houses. The House of Chthon is one of those houses.
Oh, it all comes together, you guys.
Yeah.
Is Chthon a thing mentioned in the movies, or is that a thing that just comes up in the TV show? Okay.
But I believe Chthon is the...
So do they try to get into the politics of all that stuff? Is that what that show's about?
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. It might be boring and terrible, but it's a good idea anyway.
I believe Chthon is the big monster that Carnage has turned out to be like the disciple of. I believe that's Chthon.
Oh, wait, that's not a thing they made up.
I don't think so.
What's it from, then?
The Darkhold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think that name is a comic book thing.
Cold drinks! That's what they have back there!
Yep. That doesn't suck me out of the movie at all.
Not at all. It's not a big deal. I mean, there's certainly vending machines that look like that.
Oh, so dramatic.
Yeah,
he has no idea how to pace a scene.
Vending machines.
Everything is like a slow-mo, like, what do you call it? I guess like a music video. Like, they're all they slow walk. Like, we've had so many slow walking shots.
And it feels like we're just stretching out for time. So we're being real inconsistent back and forth about this slowing down speech and stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess we were supposed to be from their perspective as they walked in. I guess that's the deal. And then they walk in, and then we're still from their perspective, and then now she's talking like that, so now we're with Blade? Is that what we're doing?
Well, yeah, you're huge.
I want that guy to be played by Patrick Warburton so bad.
He would have played this role better than Triple H.
Triple H. Didn't realize right away that's who that was. I want to do the rest of this commentary in slow motion, Eric.
What so much slow motion.
Do you think of
if we put this? Look how funny he is! Do you see the funny joke? Do you see his name tag?
Yeah, they just keep going back and forth between flipping people off and putting the F word. I almost said the F word out loud.
Yep.
Putting the F word on name tags and signs and babies, not real babies, baby dolls.
And Deadpool's here. And
hi, Deadpool.
In case anyone wants to know, I'm not saying that because it's Ryan Reynolds. He is playing the exact same character. Maybe a little bit less fourth wall breaking, but he's given the same performance.
Well, probably not at all fourth wall breaking. There's probably no point where he looks at the camera and makes fun of the movie he's in. So, it's probably not at all fourth wall breaking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he's not.
Right? He doesn't do that.
Well,
it's not a meta thing.
He does break a fourth wall.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. I will show it to you.
Oh boy, I can't wait! I'm gonna find out. Can we talk about it in slow motion?
Because it's a thing that drives me nuts when I start thinking about it.
Ooh, I like the idea of metal fangs. I think that's fun.
Yeah.
You get your fangs replaced. Somebody punched out your fangs. But if you're a vampire, wouldn't you just grow your fangs back? Maybe break off. Maybe he
Oh look, we're slow motion walking. Oh, look how cool this is.
It would be maybe cool if we only did it with Blade, but you still couldn't do it all the time.
Like if this was this looks like a music. Like this legitimately looks like this is the cover to Millennium.
Let's make one. Let's make a music video out of this movie, and make this movie look way cooler because there's no plot, and if there's no story, it's probably easier to swallow some of this.
It's not that there's. I mean, it's
no. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying if we make a music video and there's no story, it's maybe easier and more fun to swallow this stuff. Or we can make a video that makes fun of it. I don't know.
You know,
or maybe we could cut scenes with Blade and Deadpool.
The problem with this movie is not that there's not a plot; it's that it's dumb.
Yeah.
And
that's not what I was talking about.
And I've talked about this to you, but I haven't talked about this to listeners.
Hey, look, it's Nyssa from Arrow.
If you listen to the commentary for this film, it is David Goyer, Ryan Reynolds, and Jessica Biel, and every scene is, well, we thought this would be funny. It is a real case of they're having fun on set, but they're not. There's no vision. It is. Everything
Which is probably why Wesley Snipes isn't liking it. Well, and also because, as you were talking about with our second commentary, with our Blade 2 commentary, he gets put in the background. He doesn't like that.
Yeah, and there's talk of them spinning off and getting their own movie while they're making this movie.
And he doesn't like that.
Yeah.
But the way you're describing it, it sounds like high school kids making a movie.
And that's what this movie feels like. But yeah, no, the whole thing.
It sounds like they're making this movie like we're making this commentary. That's what it sounds like.
Or how this whole series came into being.
That's right.
And that's fine for us
for this
jerking around on YouTube,
yeah,
but not
absolutely
not for a multi-million-dollar movie. Also.
There was one time in one of these commentaries where I made the mistake, or maybe before or after one, where I made the mistake of saying to you that we were making a product, and you were like, no, we're not. That's not...
Yeah, no. Okay.
Yeah.
So
wait, it's still... Everything's in slow motion!
You can't do this after Buffy. There's an episode where Faith gets a bow and arrow, and we make a big deal about how stupid it would be to use a bow and arrow.
Yep.
You can't do this, especially after the first two movies, which, I mean, they're both kind of fun and irreverent in a little bit, but you can't do that. You can't do that.
And it just ended.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was on its last or second to last season as this was being filmed. Like, it's in too close proximity. Now, it might be that he didn't see that. And it... I don't know that you can see specific influences from Buffy in this.
No.
Unless he thought of it because of that, which would be weird.
Yeah.
I got a stick. Sticks are cool. What's a cool?
That's the thing they talk about in the commentary. He is supposed to come out with them, and he was like, "No, man, I'm going to go my own way."
Oh, so he refused.
What Blade just did in the movie is what Wesley Snipes did in making the movie.
Wow.
I'm going to come out my own way by myself.
Because he doesn't want it to be a team movie.
Yes.
He won't be a team player.
Yep.
But he's contracted, so no matter what they make, he has to be
And he's a producer.
Wow.
He has power on this movie.
Okay, but then you can't begrudge him
I don't.
some of
and looking at the movie that they're making,
story choices he tries to help, he tries to impose.
Well, and looking at the movie they're making, I would be angry too. You're having to play with these kids making all these stupid jokes. And that's what Blade's experiencing in the movie, but, I would also be angry. We weren't this goofy the last
And we have
times.
a bunch of, not the same kind of goofy.
Yeah.
It was a goofy that was blended into your film real well. Also, I'm seeing a lot of exposition and dialogue that these movies were above that before, for the most part. Whistler's daughter. No, everybody in that car knows who that is. You wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
You're just saying that for our benefit. How about you... maybe it would have seemed too convenient because we've never talked about her, but have we ever talked about her before?
We talked about that his family was murdered, which is why he brought up... That's why he says it. He says Whistler's daughter, I thought Whistler's whole family was killed. And she says that she was born on a wedlock later. There's Patton Oswalt, who I'm convinced...
Okay, but right away he says Whistler's daughter before he says anything later on, and he doesn't seem remotely surprised by it.
Yeah.
I mean, I realize that he likes to do the, deadpan nothing phases me thing, but I feel like he just saw Whistler die. And, by the way, he's not reeling or anything about Whistler's death.
Yeah. Nope, doesn't care. He's forgotten at this point.
Well, that's a really young Patton Oswalt. I didn't even know he was working yet.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't hear of Patton Oswalt until about 4 years ago. So,
I'm convinced Patton Oswalt, because he's a geek, keeps getting signed on to projects that he's excited to work on, and then they're always like he's on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He never gets to be in the good ones.
No, he doesn't.
Brian Posehn's like that too. We'll see him in Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. He's the priest that marries them, or doesn't marry them.
This is really interesting too, given the way the production is going. He's making a speech that I'm imagining Wesley Snipes making on set to these actors. What, do you think this is a joke?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
And that's what this entire movie... the movie's on their side.
There with a Fantastic Four shirt. Yeah, he does think it's a joke. This is so weird.
Mm-hmm.
This is bad...
Here it is. Nope, that's not it. It's coming. Don't worry.
This is bad art reflecting unfortunate life. Did I pass the audition? Yeah, no, but these idiots are making me work with you anyway. This is fascinating.
So Ryan Reynolds is playing a character named Hannibal King.
Yeah.
Hannibal King in the comic books is introduced in a one-shot story, or one-and-done issue, that is straight up hard-boiled noir.
We're going to file this in the how the hell do you know this category.
It's from Tomb of Dracula.
Stuff you know.
There's an issue of Tomb of Dracula. Well, he's a mainstay in Tomb of Dracula.
Okay.
He's a PI. He's Philip Marlowe. This is what they did with that character. And he was turned into a vampire, but his whole thing is that he can't get turned into a vampire. Moving forward, that's his power.
So, did they decide this is what he was going to be like, and then they got Ryan Reynolds? Or is Ryan Reynolds just, wanting so badly to play Deadpool, he's doing it in everything
Well,
right
and
now?
this is where he discovers Deadpool, is he's playing this movie, and someone on set says...
I was going to say, I didn't think he knew Deadpool yet.
He does not. This is how he discovers it. Someone says, you're playing Deadpool. Like what you're doing with this character, it's like this Deadpool character, and he gets handed Deadpool comics. And it's from this movie he gets on his trail to, I want to be Deadpool.
And he becomes obsessed with that character.
I don't know if that's a joke or not.
Boy, everything he's saying is Deadpool lines.
Yep. No, he's just Deadpool.
This is so much more interesting going back to after I've seen him actually play Deadpool. Wow.
Yep.
Which is a thing Deadpool says all the time.
Yep.
Wow.
No, he's playing
Fascinating.
Deadpool.
I'm going to be doing the rest of this commentary with my hand on my forehead. Fascinating.
Okay, here comes, and here's where he's going to break the fourth wall. He has a Tomb of Dracula comic book.
That's not exactly the character breaking the fourth wall, but it is the movie referring to real life things. It's close. It's
That's
crazy.
as close as it gets.
It's crazy because he plays Deadpool.
Yeah.
That's nuts. But that is not exactly a fourth wall break.
Okay, but here's why it breaks my brain. What do those comic books look like in this universe?
No,
Is
that's-
Blade in them?
Yeah. Yeah, because you open up that issue and characters in this movie are in it, right? Well,
Yep.
it's Dracula.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in that. I don't know anything about Tomb of Dracula.
I don't know that specific issue, but Hannibal King should be in it.
I do
Blade
think
should
it's
be in
fun
it.
that a comic book called Tomb of Dracula exists in this universe, and that's some of the proof of actual Dracula that and obviously this is a thing we do all the time, and it's become a cliche, but that we
This all looks so bad.
yeah, but that we talk about all of the fictional stuff in our real world and how it came from something real.
And we're gonna keep doing that movie. We're gonna look at the like merchandisation
of Dracula. Oh yeah, that's yeah.
So, God, this looks bad. So, bringing Dracula in makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially since Blade comes from Tomb of Dracula. Like, this all makes sense.
And especially because we haven't gotten to do any other really comic book vampire characters that anybody knows, because we didn't get to do Morbius last movie.
Yeah.
Dracula's where I would have liked to have gone.
But this is the most generic, boring...
It's generic.
Dracula's way scarier than you knew he was.
He
goes back to Samaria. He's, like... And the problem I have...
And he's not scarier, he's cool because he's a badass. Like this is the Dracula of Blade's world. He's evolved to this, or
does that count as bare-chested?
Yes. Or this is what he's acting like now because he's in, modern day, and so he's going to be like a street punk.
And here's the problem with...
Could you do a cool street punk Dracula? Is it just that this actor is not interesting? Is that all it is? Is it just that he has no gravitas? He's got one facial expression?
I think...
He's got no stage presence?
It wouldn't be my take,
presence.
but I think you could do it.
Yeah.
But he's...
What I remember watching this movie with Dracula was having to constantly remind myself that that's who that guy was supposed to be. Yeah. Oh, there's the merchandisation of Dracula.
Yeah. But, no, it's...
You can't do that sound in a song without me thinking, I'm blue. Like, you can't do that.
The problem I always have with doing this, where we're like, no, Dracula has been around for forever.
I like that he has a Count Chocula box.
Then what is... And we know that Bram Stoker's Dracula exists because Hannibal King mentions it. He says, like, that was a nice fairy tale. What is that based on?
Yeah, because it's not this guy.
Yeah, it's not this guy. And that's inspired by Vlad the Impaler. Who is Vlad the Impaler to this person? Like, most of the time, when we make Dracula like a real thing, we just go back to Vlad the Impaler. That's where he started.
I guess it could be a mistake.
Yeah.
It could be like, there was a real one, and maybe somebody at some point thought that guy was that one. Also,
but then it would be cool if you actually mentioned
something
that.
And making it more interesting. Mm-hmm. Like, you could, again, this is not what we're doing. You could do a story where Dracula's
like that.
Where Dracula is maybe like insecure about the fact that everyone thinks he's way cooler than he is.
Yeah.
But then that's a comedy before it's right. Like, that's not this movie.
Or that.
Or they just get him wrong.
Like, do something with Count Chocula, right? Like, like, do it where, like, oh, I'm a joke.
Yeah, and I like that a lot. And I feel like they're trying to do that to some degree.
And it just doesn't work.
Yeah. But that's a good idea. It was like, no one's afraid of me. They're just buying me and putting me on lunch boxes.
Yeah.
And then you do some cool satire and social commentary about commercialism.
Yep.
We do that with Santa Claus.
Oh, when they call him Drake, that's right. They don't call him Dracula, they call him Drake now.
That's weird.
Okay. It has roots in the comics.
Okay.
There is a character,
Well, and your name might evolve. You might, like, change your name to go more with the times. Like, Dracula sounds real outdated.
But they don't know that yet? they haven't met Dracula yet, and
So
that's
they
the name
just
Dracula's going to
nicknamed him?
use. They nickname him Drake, and he takes that name.
Well, that's dumb.
I believe.
If it's what we think it is.
Drake is a character in the comics. I can't remember what his first name is. It's something Drake, and he's the lead character of Tomb of Dracula. He's like a descendant of a distant descendant of Dracula.
Man, this just feels like the supporting cast nobody asked for.
Yep. It's a CW show now.
Yeah.
You need a support team. Nobody can actually, be a superhero on their own. They have to have a support team.
You're right, it kind of feels like the pilot for a CW Blade show.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that at least the Spike TV show feels more like those movies than this does.
Yes. So, here's a question I have about this.
Yeah.
How does Lamagra factor into all this?
What's with the little girl?
She's the Lady Glitcher's daughter.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, you were saying something?
How does Lamagra factor into all of this? We don't even try and tie that back and be like, Dracula made a deal with Lamagra or something.
Oh, so he's supposed to be like James Bond Q then?
Yeah. He's the comic relief of this movie.
Excuse me.
Except for all of the other comic relief of this movie.
You don't need comic relief in a movie with Deadpool. Honestly, with what we're stuck with in this movie, it would be more entertaining if we just listened to him talk for 2 hours, probably. I mean, that would get old, but...
That joke doesn't make sense.
It is so insane how almost not different at all his performance is from when he's Deadpool.
Yeah. And it's not like he's this in every movie.
No, he's not.
Like, he has a little bit of range. He's just... It clearly is not there.
Have you seen the movie where he's buried alive?
No, but I've heard it's great.
It's amazing. If you don't think that guy has range, watch that movie. It turned me around on him. That is a powerful film.
I like this idea. This is kind of a cool idea. I don't know why Dracula has that power, but...
That's the obvious thing to say.
Yeah. And that's the obvious response.
Yeah. Now, I get that we were much quicker in 04 to be like, that's a nerd.
Yeah.
He's too smart, and he sits around reading and learning things.
What a loser! No girl would ever want you!
We have happily progressed a little bit from.
Oh, look how much cooler this car is than Blade's. And this is...
Now there's a family in a minivan, Eric!
This is the dumbest thing.
Dark Core. I'm going to start listening to Dark Core. I'll get back to you. I'm going to find out what that is. Does anybody know what that is? What is Dark Core?
Or Trip Hop.
Okay, Dark Core. Dark Core.
But she's so edgy and cool.
Trip Hop. Is that what Trip Hop. We'll do that after the program.
She's so edgy and cool. She listens to music while she fights.
Whoa.
Okay. There's a couple of issues with that.
Yeah.
One being, how can you hear anyone around you?
Yeah.
Anyone can sneak up on you and take you out real easy.
Exactly. Yeah.
The other one is, I mean, I guess the idea is, fighting's kind of rhythmic, and so but what happens when, like, you're not listening to a beat that jives with how you fight? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Wouldn't it be really amusing if it got stuck or there was just a few seconds between songs? You're like, yeah,
that would...
And then you just stand there for a minute, and then somebody comes at you, and you're... Just hold on. And then you start going again.
Hey.
The F-bombs are so out of place in this movie. Because this doesn't feel like a real rough and violent movie to me, Eric.
No, it feels real sterile.
Like, yeah, there's violence, but it feels like PG-13 violence for the most part. I'm sure there's some, like, gratuitous gore and stuff here and there, but...
So he clearly wrote this scene after he wrote the begin scene?
You're right. Where are the other drugs going? See, it wasn't Batman. I feel real proud of that. But I want to give Blade lines from other people in Batman Begins now, too. Like what? You don't like falafel?
He's genuinely funny.
Stop it! Stop! Quit making
It's
promos!
so cool!
Quit making... No, it's... Quit making promos for your TV show! Because it's a movie! And it's not a TV show.
No,
They have made 18 DVD box... pieces of DVD box art so far, Eric. 18 of them!
One of the things about him playing Deadpool in this is that he's funny.
Yeah.
Not always,
No,
but...
the sugar line I like.
Yeah.
That's a good line. That's just a Deadpool thing! He is playing it a little bit more deadpan and sarcastic, where, like, if you close your eyes, you're hearing Deadpool, but in the face, you're not seeing it as much.
Which is interesting because Deadpool wears a mask.
That's an intentional choice. Yeah, and he's way more expressive in that mask than this guy is.
Yeah.
But, like, some of the lines almost play better the way he's doing it here, and sometimes if Deadpool is in a real bad mood, he does it like that. Where he's still being quippy, but he'll be real serious, like, you're hearing a real sarcastic line before you get killed. And you deserve it. Yes, like that. I'm very interested in watching Deadpool with you and seeing what that's going to be like.
It's so much hipper to call him Drake. I think that's the only time we do anything with him.
He's
Like
cool because he has
changing
bling.
people. I don't remember. I don't want to say that and then be wrong later, but I think that's the only time we do anything with him being able to change the people that we set up a couple of scenes ago, a couple of montages ago. So,
Goyer wrote a script. Goyer wrote this,
Yeah,
right?
Goyer wrote it.
Goyer wrote a script with a Dracula that is supposed to be real imposing, that every time he's on screen we're like, whoa, right?
I'm convinced you take his
Why do we-
script for this movie and you give it to a different director, it's not this movie.
Yeah.
I'm convinced
It's
there's
maybe
a lot
okay,
of
like-
there's a lot of on-set changes because it's funny.
Yeah. Because he's being immature about making his movie.
Yeah.
As far as we can tell, that seems to be maybe what's
And that's
going
what it sounds like on the commentary, which I listened to years ago.
If you don't want to take this material seriously, then don't write material that looks like it was supposed to be shot seriously. Even with the absurdity and over-the-top stuff that worked in the other two movies, right?
Yeah. And I guarantee you, this script, like, is I'm on script,
Get
on
this
page,
bicycle out of my way.
this is not that much sillier or out there than the first two scripts. I think Goyer's collaborator
It feels
is
more
really
straightforward, honestly, ideal-wise.
Well, and
It's like now they're making a straight-up... Well, I don't want to say straight-up comic book movie, because I praised the first movie for being really comic book, but I mean superhero comic book movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's where we're at now. And, like, Blade gets outed, everybody knows about him, is he friend or foe? He's being framed. Okay, now it's a straight-up superhero movie.
Making Dracula the first vampire is a really obvious idea, but like it's not something that can't work.
I feel like we do that a lot with it.
We do that a lot with it. I prefer he's just important, but the first vampire.
I feel like Buffy might have done it that way.
No, he's
No?
just got gypsy powers.
And he's been around a long time, but he's not like Master old.
Yeah.
Or is it that the Master was old or did something happen to him? I forget.
No, the Master's old. The joke with Dracula and Buffy is
I thought as you got older, you looked more like a monster.
Yeah, that's how I've always understood it. The thing with Dracula and Buffy is that he just got famous. It is not that he's important, it's that he let someone write a book about him.
I love their Dracula.
He's not my favorite.
Well, I'm not a big Dracula guy, but in that context, I always really like.
But
like
the thing,
and they do some fun stuff with him in the comics too.
when we do Dracula in Marvel Comics, he's he's got so much presence and menace. It doesn't matter that he's not the most important vampire in the world, because he is the most important vampire in the world. You don't need to do all this. Just make him scary. But
the first way to put up a sign, besides putting up an actual sign, the first way to put up a sign in a movie that says we're out of ideas is to have a chasing after a baby plot, man.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're doing here?
Now, I remember the trailer for this movie.
I can't remember why there's a baby and what that whole
He
thing
grabbed her from the lady.
Oh, okay.
But the trailer for this movie said, like, he fought their gods, and it showed, like, La Magra. And it's like, he conquered their demons, and it shows the super vampires from the previous movie. And it goes, and now he'll face, like, their origin or something like that. I mean, that makes sense as a trilogy, right? Like, to take it back to the beginning.
Yeah.
But
the world's past comes back and haunts Blade. That's cool.
But you need to play him like that. Like, he gets to modern society, he's immediately a modern person.
I'm gonna retract what I said about the baby thing. They're the vampires after babies. I guess that's okay. I'm not remembering enough about this movie.
Well, and that's
and for a minute I thought maybe that particular baby becomes a MacGuffin. I just don't remember this movie.
That's that's a Bram Stoker thing. Dracula feeds his bride's babies.
That look. No. I mean, Blade can say silly lines here and there, but that's taking it too far, maybe.
That guy's not intimidating enough to have this this reaction. And
You're Deadpool, what are you worried about?
And she's dressed like this character would dress in this movie, but not like in the other movies. Like, she's dressed all sexy, like her shirt cuts off here.
Yep.
Like, she wouldn't dress... A vampire would dress like that in the previous movies. Somebody hunting vampires would not dress like that.
They'd be more practical, right? They'd be smarter about it.
Yeah.
It would still be stylistic and look cool.
Yeah, Blade looks cool. He's got, like, a vest on and stuff that's, like, bulletproof and stuff. Like, and she's completely human.
And real exposed. Yeah. I mean, like, you'd have sleeves.
Yeah. You wouldn't be listening to stupid music.
You wouldn't want bare arms, yeah.
And as I recall from the commentary, David Goyer thinks this scene is absolutely great, and it's so artistic and real character-driven. You're seeing her, like, come down from all this.
Oh,
we're never going to do anything with this again in the movie.
And I don't remember being invested in her at all.
She's not good.
She just seems like a nothing character to me.
I don't know if she... Okay, so... That's Shatner's Esperanto
Wait
film.
a minute, why is he watching the Esperanto film? What?
Okay, so there's a story behind that.
I don't remember that. When I first saw this, I don't think I knew about the Esperanto film. I know about that now. That is bizarre. But it does feel like a thing Deadpool would do.
That's one of the... No, it has to be in our movie because it's funny.
What?
They thought it would be funny, and they said that, like, they fought with the producers to get the rights.
Weirdest thing.
To get the rights to show that movie, and they're like, our movie will not work if we don't have this movie.
Won't work. What is it?
It's just because they wanted it because they thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's not saying anything.
No, but they thought
This
it was
isn't-
so funny. They told like their producers. They were like, no, we have to get the rights to this movie.
If this was a
It's
movie
integral.
about communication and people not being able to talk to each other in like different languages and stuff, but it still has to be a comedy and not this kind of a comedy. That is the most counterintuitive.
That was the worst camera move.
Yeah,
like, it
that
was
was
so
bizarre.
over the top. And man, the scene would be more dramatic if, like, he didn't just have an inhaler. Like, if she saw him, like, dealing with something.
I'm sorry, I need to pause this movie because Esperanto. I can't get past that whole thing yet. I can't. Wow. It is like watching this for the first time.
But that's exactly the movie Deadpool would be watching.
Deadpool now. I like Ryan Reynolds in things now. I know about the Shatner Esperanto thing.
But that's totally a Deadpool joke, right? That he's watching in Esperanto, the only film in Esperanto?
I know more about really super cheesy Goyer dialogue. Man. Why is that in this movie?
I don't know!
This movie?
I don't know!
What are we watching? But do you think there's a chance that by the end of this I might really like this movie?
No.
Is it Morphin time? Like,
no, that comes later.
Look at it, that comes later. What is she wearing?
The Hawkeye jacket thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks like Hawkeye's jacket. But not as cool.
Yeah, it looks like an outfit that Kimberly wears in the Power Rangers Pink comic, dude.
It's real stylish.
Spill it. He's not even playing Blade in that moment. That's not even how Blade talks. That's just Wesley Snipes going, I have a line of dialogue, and I'm going to say it now. That's how Wesley Snipes talks when he's not Blade. He talks like a game show host. It speaks a little deeper than I do. He's not even playing Blade right now! He's not! That's not Blade, okay?
Okay, so I brought this up in the first movie. I didn't bring it up in the second movie.
This
but
is so weird!
But that the, what do the vampires do after La Magra once everyone's a vampire?
Wait, you can scan it?
Yeah.
How's it a barcode?
They've been doing that this whole movie.
You
I don't know.
Scan it?
I don't know.
Did they do that in the other movies?
No.
You should be able to scan it.
So,
I mean, I appreciate trying to do more culture stuff with the... Sorry, go ahead.
So this was in the script for the first movie. It's shot. It's not in the movie. And then it's in the script for the second movie, but it gets cut. Because both films are about, like, the vampires taking over. This is the one good idea that came from those first two scripts is, well, of course you would have to do something about the fact that you wouldn't have humans anymore.
Yeah.
This is how they deal with it. It's clever. It makes no sense in this movie, because
This movie's not so much about that stuff.
No, because the premise of this movie is that they're going to use Dracula to become daywalkers. That has nothing to do with your human food supply. Also, these vampires are acting like Deacon Frost, and there's no repercussions. There are no elder vampires.
If you're daywalkers, you don't need this anymore. It's
yeah,
right.
Yeah,
because Blade eats regular people food, right? Or does
no.
He still drinks. No,
no. He needs the thing to that's that thing that's the inhaler now.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so he doesn't have the cravings. But this isn't like this scheme of the three films is the least. Well, what are we going to do about?
I just couldn't remember how he got sustenance. Like I knew he had to take something
akin
to medicine.
Normal people food.
That's what I'm saying.
That just gets rid of his bloodlust.
Okay, and if you're a daybreaker, if you're a daywalker, you would still
you just walk around
have
have
the bloodlust.
I don't understand why I need it in this movie.
But you would still need this then.
Not immediately.
Why not?
Well, because
when you need it more, you can walk around at any time of the day now. Like, wouldn't you lose your food supply faster? Maybe that's why it's supposed to be.
But not as fast as La Magra, and not as fast as those super vampires from 2. Like, they couldn't stop eating. Like at this point, we're just upfront saying we're not going to manage our food intake well. That's all the vampires are saying is, look, we know we're going to be gluttonous. We can't help it.
It's Don Quixote, the man of La Magra.
That's a stupid password.
Put it in.
But
do it.
It's not that it doesn't make any sense. It's that of the 3 of these movies, this is the plot that needed this least.
Well, and I think you're probably also frustrated because you wish this was in one of those other.
It should have been the first one.
You wish we knew about it.
Yeah. But yeah, this movie.
Yeah.
Did J.J. Abrams guest on this on that chapter? So this is the only reason I know anything about this Wizard of Oz book. Not kidding.
Boy, the cultural references are weird in this movie.
Yeah.
is this supposed to be significant somehow to the story?
Oh, this
in
yes.
any sort of thematic way?
This is gonna.
I mean, the
play
Wizard
out.
of Oz thing.
Oh, the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. What does that have to do with anything?
The Gnome King wants to take over the kingdom and isn't going to manage his food supply or something like that.
Is that what it is?
I don't
He's not going to manage his food supply.
I don't know.
Okay, right. This is how you know about the Wizard of Oz book, where there's this Gnome King.
That's
that
all
can't
I know. Is
manage his food supply.
I'm still in this movie.
Yeah, I know, but as we've learned, I don't stay that way.
Just in case you hadn't guessed that he was Dracula, we had to do that eye thing so you know.
I thought he was Mystique, okay? Quit giving everything
I'm
away.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
God. I thought there might be a cool crossover thing that I somehow forgot when I made the rewind. Do you think anybody would mind if I fell asleep?
Yes, I would mind.
No. Okay.
I mean, this is really boring.
So I can go off and get cheeseburgers, but I can't take a nap. And I was enjoying watching that movie, too.
Yeah. You're enjoying watching this movie, too.
I'm enjoying talking
It's
to you.
fascinating.
No, it is. It is fascinating, but I'm enjoying it on a different level. A different kind of enjoyment. The English language is real limited. I don't have a better word for it. There's something
Perhaps
else.
if you learned Esperanto.
There's intrigued. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna learn that.
I want to learn
It's-
Esperanto. I've always wanted to learn Esperanto.
It is going to become necessary to some video that we make. Man, when I finally get to Batman year, dude, Esperanto. It's gonna be Esperanto all over Batman year.
Batman definitely knows Esperanto.
You guys don't even know.
I want that to be the one language Batman doesn't know.
He not only knows it, he can lip read it.
Yeah. I want that to be the one language Batman doesn't know. Like, someone's like, you know every language. Why would I learn Esperanto?
Yeah, nobody speaks it. Nobody speaks it. So now I can't do
It's
Batman.
a stillborn language. No one ever spoke
Right,
it.
right.
This is the only reason she's blind. Is so we can have this scene be tense.
Uh-huh. And it's not.
No.
Like, nobody was surprised by that.
And she's
the
in,
camera
like,
moves are
one
bad,
scene before
and-
this. We don't care about her. Oh, and we saw her with her daughter. Which is supposed to make us care about her or something. And because this movie isn't actually edgy, nothing's going to happen to the little girl.
I guess now that we've had two of them, we could be counting blind girls that get killed or kidnapped. That'd be a thing. We'll have at least 3 of them. Yeah.
Who else dies? Who else is blind?
Well, no. We have... Well, blind and kidnapped. So, the other one I thought of is Roger Corman Fantastic Four.
Oh, and we'll have that again in one of the 2 Fantastic Fours, right?
Well, does she get kidnapped? That's what I was going to... I don't think
remember.
she does. I don't think she's ever...
No, because we give her part in the comics to Sue Storm.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
Yeah, and all she does in the sequel is make more speeches and be part of a wedding. That's
I will
about it.
not respect this movie if it kills a kid, but I respect it slightly more. We just don't do that in movies. I hate it when movies are like so.
And he doesn't mean kill children. He means allow them to die in situations where it makes sense that they would die. I want to say that's what you mean.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. I hate it when movies are like
You can't always stop the bad guy. That's like real consequences.
And a movie that like this is like
Violence.
so cool for school, and like we're so hip and we're so edgy and we're saying F-bombs, but you can't kill a kid.
And
your
this
villains
feels
can't kill a kid.
so much more post-Matrix than the second movie did.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we say that?
Yeah.
And it's post-Matrix Revolution,
Yeah.
so like...
Yeah. Maybe the little girl does die. I don't think she dies. Oh no, Pat Oswalt! But you were such an engaging character.
Maybe she gets turned into a van?
I don't think she gets.
No, okay.
I think I remember that. But I don't remember if she dies or not. So. Why she got that normal gun? We have like all these like big super guns.
Yeah, how come she doesn't get one of those? She's like, when my music is playing in my head, all I need is a normal person gun.
Yeah. Why isn't she listening to music right now? It'd help her look.
Eric, I'm gonna see right now, just for my own edification, if that camera move from earlier actually maybe works. Okay, hold on. Why do you have to be so mean? No, that is ridiculous. That is just the stupidest thing. It like zips around. Too.
Remind me to show
It's
you a
like,
thing with Crispus Allen.
Crispus Allen
in Gotham Central.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he's doing the Ron Perlman thing in like all the panels. He's always got his head cocked. It was something I started noticing. I'm like, his head's always cocked like Ron Perlman in Blade 2. It's always slightly to the side.
This would all be kind of scary if, Dracula was scary.
Yeah, look. She's like, this is the monster that murdered civilizations, and that's all he did to her. Because it's a PG-13 movie.
I know I go to this a lot. I think it'd be really cool if you had all these horrible things Dracula is doing, and you had evidence so you knew for sure it was him, but that we didn't see him for a really long time. Like,
yeah, you build him up. That's what we should be doing this whole movie. Dracula shouldn't be in this at all.
Yeah, what if he wasn't there?
Like, they should
I didn't
awaken
think you would
him
agree with me when I said that.
They should awaken him at the beginning, and then we should build to Dracula. And get an actor
and then
that
we
can
don't even
play
see
it.
his face. Like, we know he woke up, but we don't even see his face. If he was a presence,
yeah,
but we never saw him, all of this works a great deal better. Because the problem is, I've seen the guy you cast, and
he's not intimidating.
He feels like a one-off crypto freak to me.
This is another. We thought it was funny. That's a special effects we thought was funny.
Okay, I do like that. I do like the dog's name is Pac-Man. Well, not really. The Reapers aren't exactly vampires.
Yeah, it's this weird
It's
thing.
not a vampire, it's a Reaper.
But we act like that's just what vampires look like. Like
But
that's
they-
what it naturally
But
does.
they're different, though.
Ha 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 ha.
That's not a thing I ever needed to hear in any movie ever. And please don't try to come up with a play with some kind of a scenario where that would be a necessary line.
Maybe Luke Cage in the prison.
Oh, yeah, okay, alright. Well, you've done it. You've gone and done it now.
Yep.
You've gone and done
There's
it
going to
now.
be a beat here that I'm interested to see whether I think it works or not. Where it's supposed to happen dramatically like in a movie, but I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if it didn't happen dramatically like in a movie? I'm not sure whether it's actually funny or not.
I'm never going to eat lake trout now because a vampire might try to drink my blood and like it too much. Be like, good, thank you so much for eating lake trout. Stop staring. Cut the scene now. Can't you you can fix a lot of stuff in editing, right?
You can also fix a lot of this with better casting and a different director.
Let's just make a list of things this movie has and things we wish it
That's
didn't
a Deadpool
have.
joke.
What you're left with is Wesley Snipes in a good mood. That's
If Deadpool fought vampires, that's a Deadpool joke. I'd say a bunch of garlic, I just farted, silent but deadly. That's a Deadpool joke.
It's not funny, but it's a Deadpool joke, yeah. That's also it. Let's just
Yeah.
stop doing this, okay? He's Deadpool, but more deadpan. The end, okay?
And his jokes hit
He's
maybe
more
a little bit less.
dry-witted. Yeah. But some of them do.
Yeah, no, some of his jokes do, and they're really funny.
And some of those jokes are helped a lot by his delivery. They wouldn't be funny if anybody else said them.
And I can only imagine that a lot of them are improvised.
That looks painful.
It's the only time you wince this entire movie.
Yeah!
And you're wincing all over Blade 1 and 2.
Yeah, and heel through the shoulder. It's the most absurd thing. And still, something you can put in a PG-13 movie, probably.
Yeah, I think so too.
Hey, we got a sigh through the hand in Daredevil.
Yeah.
After you've eaten some lake trout. Well, this feels a little bit like Deadpool's origin to me right now. At least what she's claiming she's about to do to him.
Hey, there's sun right there. Shouldn't that, like, do something?
Yeah! All the rules are different.
Yep, see that look on them die.
Why do they even need to be daywalkers? She's right in front of the sun. Look, that is what we in the field call natural lighting. And if your vampire is being illuminated by natural lighting...
I'm gonna guess it's something with, like, oh, it's a special coded window.
It's suntan lotion, right? That's what it is. It's suntan lotion.
All over the window, yeah.
Oh, no, on her face.
Oh, yeah. She is kind of pale.
She's a vampire.
That's not giving me
That vampire's pretty pale, you know.
Oh, look. She's real serious about arming up her bow this time. It's very somber.
So, yeah, see, if you're a vampire, you've got SPF 5000. You're good.
Yeah, this is for serious. It looks like she's working on the bike.
SPF 5000. What is it with things that look like bicycles and bicycles in this movie? They actually tried to make it look really super cool and dramatic when he's running and he just moves a bicycle out of his way. He's like, bicycle.
I'm sure that's exactly what he was thinking.
That is my favorite moment in this movie. That and lake trout.
I'm sorry. If you have to be working in, like, this kind of standard, normal human, like, archery training thing, you're not good enough to be doing this while you're fighting vampires.
No. That's true.
Like, why am I supposed to be impressed by this? She's supposed to, like, whip this around and shoot. I'm clearly not against, like, archery-based characters. I like Green Arrow. I like Hawkeye, but this universe is too serious for this.
And she's all over the place.
Yeah. Well, no, I think she made a cross or something.
Oh, is that what it was? Oh, it was like a smiley face thing from Lethal Weapon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. I don't understand this movie. I'm just noticed this movie hasn't been working, so I'm assuming things that maybe actually work are also not working.
That guy's name's Colder.
Colder than who? There's a lot of cold people.
Learn it well, because it'll be
the last
something
thing
cold.
you ever something lake trout something.
How can we have prepared this?
What you don't realize is that everyone. Sorry, what?
Everyone's
okay. Let's see why she's. You know the one with the Gnome King who wasn't very prepared with his food supply. Wasn't really worried about that. Still don't know what the point of Wizard of Oz was. Why are we pretending like I'm supposed to care that this person is dead?
No,
she didn't get any dialogue until just now.
No, this is exposition. What we're being told is that she has...
I know, but it's still supposed to be sad. And it's not.
Yeah.
I get that it's exposition.
And that's setting up that.
That he could die, because we don't understand how hybrids work. No, I'm not criticizing.
Why did she record this?
Yeah.
Because she's real dramatic about it.
What you don't understand is that everyone in a movie like this, every 5 or 6 hours, makes a video like that.
Did, she send her daughter to go hide, and then she recorded that video, then she went to, look? That's the only way that recording makes sense.
I think we should make that video, Eric. I think we should make the, if you're seeing this video, then I must be dead video.
maybe we shouldn't, like, put it in a projectile because that could easily miss. Maybe we could put it in, like, a needle or something. Or, like, maybe that cool punchy fist thing from the second movie that had a thing that injected things into things, and you could get up real close and punch him with it. Maybe that.
Maybe we could inject it into some lake trout and try to get him to eat the lake trout. That's great child actress right there. She's really naturally delivering those lines of dialogue.
Ooh. You put that kid in their place.
Can I say something really profound? He's awful.
Yeah, no, he's terrible.
That's actually pretty good. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
So, I like this. This wouldn't make it a good movie, but you change him to a good actor, and it immediately becomes a better movie, a more watchable
Even
movie.
in the same outfit, doing all the same stuff, still just stringing up a girl and...
Just bring back Gary Oldman! You're working with him on Batman Begins.
Yeah, sure. Well, he can play Dracula again, but different Dracula.
There's a play with 51 songs? You think 51 songs are going to get you through that whole complex? 51? Also,
I can put it on a loop.
I exist in 2017.
You do.
iTunes does not load things to your iPhone that fast.
And it certainly didn't back then, friends. No, it did
there's
not.
Your cool blade.
There it
There's
is!
your cool
I
blade.
love it! I want one! There's got to be a replica of that I can buy.
There must be.
I'm want
sure.
that. It's wonderful. But I love that Blade has a signature blade.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's
Aside
cool.
from his sword?
Well,
Blade
yeah.
has a name, which, aside from Blade...
means justice. And the name that it has...
is Blade.
Why do these substances that are gonna kill everyone or do something always have to be green? It's always green. It always makes me think it's made of kryptonite all the time. It's psychoplasm or it's kryptonite.
It's because green's the color of poison.
Oh, see, look, they're cool because they're in sync, right? They got on their bikes at the same time, they've had this whole character arc that you might not have noticed, Eric.
Where they're working as a team now.
Really in unison. You know,
Blade wouldn't ride a motorcycle like that. He would ride a chopper. Blade wouldn't ride that kind of motorcycle. Sorry.
That's all they had on hand. That's what they had.
Motorcycles are expensive to get.
Mm-hmm. I want Blade on a bicycle at this point. That's really what I want. And then at some point that guy's like, why are you still joking? And then he calls him Francis. And this is Deadpool.
Yeah.
Oh, and he actually name drops Night Stalkers. They probably did that earlier.
They said that earlier. They said we call ourselves Night Stalkers. And Hannibal King is part of the Night Stalkers.
I'm not. And again, I'm not against it. I probably said this in the rewind. I'm not against doing Night Stalkers. I think you could do a team movie, but you don't have to put... You have to put Blade so much in the background, right?
Yeah.
That's pretty good. A satellite, which is in space. I can't decide if she is the wrong kind of over the top or if this movie is just not working so she feels like she's the wrong kind of over the top.
Yeah, I don't know.
Could that actress have been in the first movie with this exact same performance? Maybe.
I think so.
I think so. The Hello Kitty! That's a thing! That's a thing. That's a Deadpool thing. Now, I don't know if that becomes a Deadpool thing because of him or... Because I don't know if the Hello Kitty thing is only that movie or if that's in the comics someplace.
That might just be a Ryan Reynolds thing.
Maybe it is. But because everybody sees him as synonymous with Deadpool now, it's hard to tell where one ends and one begins, right? Isn't there a Hello Kitty watch or something in that movie?
I think so.
I think there's a thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird. Eric, can I say something real profound? That's weird. See? Nothing happened because you're Deadpool.
That's a Deadpool joke. But yeah, no. As scripted, that's a dramatic entrance. On set, they're like, wouldn't it be funny if he didn't come in when he said he was going to come in?
It's a different movie when we get to Ryan Reynolds, but I'm enjoying that movie.
Somehow I think Ryan Reynolds...
I am.
Somehow I think Ryan Reynolds is the best part of this movie, and also the reason this movie is bad.
Yeah.
Because him being on set
want.
immediately like negatively is influencing David Goyer clearly.
And also, I don't think that character is... Well, I don't know. Could that character work in one of these movies?
I mean, maybe.
I'd have to see the script and the story. It feels like a real disparate element to me.
Yeah, like we have characters. He's like Donald Logue and Scud toned up to 11.
But the problem is he's also one of the good guys.
Yeah.
We always did that kind of stuff with the bad guys.
Yeah. I can't believe she's wearing this to go to a vampire den to fight to fight Dracula, the person they're so scared of. That's what
she should do right now? She should look at him and go, "Oh, you got stabbed with a shoe in your shoulder. Maybe I shouldn't have exposed shoulders."
Oh, look how cool
right
it is!
now.
Look how cool it is! She's putting it in her playlist. she's so cool.
Is this what she's listening to? Can we at least listen to what she's listening to? What are you?
To the trip hop and the doom walk and whatever.
What are you, Morpheus? Where? The dark core.
The dark core
and the trip hop. Yeah.
Which also feels like a joke that Deadpool would have made in Negasonic.
Let's go to the hop.
Am I wrong? Like, that's a joke that Deadpool makes in Negasonic Teenage Warhead?
Yeah, absolutely. How does she not take... I'm telling you, she should take one look at his shoulder and be like, "Oh, I am dressed inappropriately. I did not dress for success today."
It's like she's on the easy mode. Like, she picked kid mode, and, like, Blade picked normal.
I love that so much. So
because
much.
That's the only way that this character, and dressed the way she is with the weapons she has, can ever be...
And Deadpool picked cutscenes.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, she's fighting one at a time. Look how cool she is.
Blade's on the intermediate mode. Yeah, he's playing medium.
Oh, she's so cool. She's so tough and cool and a great character. She's not here because we wanted a hot chick in our movie at all.
Nobody's playing Insanity. Nobody's doing that. That's why Dracula is so lame, because nobody put it on hard.
Yeah.
We should have been talking about this in terms of a video game the whole time.
You know all those video games where like when you get to the hard modes, the like voice acting gets better and the performance of the villain gets better?
Yeah, I've experienced that so many times. Yeah, I want to get good at video games so that
because they reward you with better acting. That's how video games work.
Yeah. I need to get good at video games so that by the time I get to the end of one that I wasn't liking, it suddenly becomes like a compelling and worthwhile experience. Can we please drop the vibro blade? The vibro blade has got to go away.
It's the power of sun between those two things. That's what they said. It's like as hot as the sun between those two
In
points.
the palm of my hands.
Yeah.
Supernova bad. There's also a Okay, we gotta stop saying that because we get it now. We all know.
And this is a Deadpool joke that he would fight.
Yeah.
He would go fight the dogs.
I don't understand how this guy could not know Deadpool, and he's giving this performance.
That's just who
so
he is.
Interesting.
As a person, I think.
What are the odds that you make a Marvel thing and you discover your unknown great love.
The thing that you were born to play.
Yeah. Arf, 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 arf. Don't fear the Reaper dogs, dude. Don't. Stop it. Stop all the flipping off things. Stop it. The closest he got to looking directly into the camera was flipping off. What was he even flipping off at that point?
The dogs, I guess.
Oh, but they're... He looked like he was looking at a person, though.
I don't know. He was looking at the cameraman. I don't know.
That was a really weird cut. That was such a strange choice to go to the next scene there. Like,
she's really bad in this.
She's phoning it in real hard, certainly.
See, I feel like she's trying really hard.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, maybe, yeah. I want to say there's just
this line that's come up.
I want to say there's just nothing to that character, but I don't think she's a great actress or anything.
Of all of the things that he's learned, that's the one word that Dracula's like, oh, I like that word, because it's naughty.
Yeah. He doesn't... You know what part of the problem is? He doesn't look like he's had any life experience.
No!
He's supposed to be the oldest vampire. There should be so much more going on behind his eyes. He should have this, like, world weariness about him. No matter how young you cast him.
Yeah. Yeah,
he needs to look like a man who's gone through a lot of things, and he's got a wisdom that comes with age.
So,
evil wisdom.
So, he's
Evil
fighting.
wisdom.
He's fighting this big guy that's been this big a movie. Blade is fighting Dracula, who's supposed to be our big bad, and Abby's doing what?
He was really smart to cover up one shoulder, because if we learn anything from this movie, it's that somebody's going to go after one of your shoulders.
Well, okay.
It might only be one, and
here's the thing.
I guess he knows which one it's going to be.
Here's the thing. One shoulder pad makes sense for sword fighting.
Yeah,
Not for that kind of sword fighting. It's a fencing thing, because this is you stand sideways and you move like this.
Yeah.
It protects
the other
this
side isn't
shoulder.
going to be exposed until you pivot.
It doesn't make sense when you're doing this. Both shoulders are exposed always.
I completely agree with you, Eric. It does not make sense.
Oh, it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
And he's got double swords now. Oh, well, I guess Blade doesn't.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I've been on TV for 10 years. This is how much acting I've learned.
Yeah, the way these fights are intercut is just poorly edited.
And where is Abby? She's on easy mode. She didn't have a boss fight.
That's really weird. We cut from there when he's like in big trouble, right? And it's like we cut, and it's real jarring, and we're supposed to be wondering what happens to him. And then the music ramps up, and we're all in the middle of it, and it's like it forgot that we haven't already gone back to that scene.
Oh, she's got two guys there with one
so when
arrow.
we go back there, they're just in the middle of a fight, and
that's a weird.
That suspense, or that intended suspense, pays off in no way.
And you can do this. I've seen this done before. You can't have Blade fighting the big bad, the most scary vampire thing that's ever existed, and his fight be going about as well as Hannibal King's. Blade should be losing. There should be tension to his fight that's more than what's in this fight.
And this should be the fight of his life.
Yeah. We're looking at the same fight.
That's so cool, Eric. Look how cool that is.
Blade looks like he doesn't care.
Because Wesley Snipes doesn't want to be in this movie.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't look like it's particularly well choreographed. Maybe he wouldn't learn the choreography. I don't know.
Whoa, weird cut. I know I've been saying that a lot.
David Goyer is clearly not a director.
We're zoomed in here, and then we stay at almost the same.
Oh, that's right. We become a Power Rangers
away.
movie. I forgot we became a power
And then we
Rangers
just
movie.
cut to the abdomen. What?
Blade loses his sword because things.
It's because it's Dracula and he's losing this fight, Eric.
I lost my sword. Give me yours. Should we count multiple times he's bare-chested?
Yeah, no, we're not going to count multiple times, but he is a very bare-chested villain. There's an evolution to his bare-chestedness. Did we just make my monster grow?
I mean, this is a Power Rangers monster.
We made him grow. We made our monster grow. Okay, the idea of shape-shifting Dracula, who's actually a big giant monster because he's been alive for so long, that's not a bad idea.
No, but
I do not dislike that.
You go the way that you went with it in the last movie, where you go Count Orlok.
But I want to go back and actually sit down and watch Blade 2 again when I'm not talking over it with you, and remind myself what exactly the Reapers are to vampires. Because this whole Reaper face thing, I feel like is wrong.
It is wrong. In that it's scientific.
I thought they genetically engineered it.
They did.
So what did they genetically engineer and it ended up going backwards, or that like they just stepped up vampire evolution
and remember,
or something?
That's a Guillermo del Toro thing.
Idea?
That's not a Goyer thing.
So
it's
Goyer's just
Goyer
not
just
even
going. Oh, that cool.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. No, it doesn't make any sense.
God. Stop that. Just stop it.
See how she's an important character? She's gonna make the shot of her life. Oh. It's like she's not an important character. And in no way a strong character.
She is the Pink Ranger. She has a bow and arrow.
Why didn't you shoot the first one suspecting he might catch it, and then shoot another one? Okay, so you remember in Blade 2 where I defended the inside shot because we needed to see that he was piercing through the bones to get to the thing? I'm not going to make that defense here. There's no reason to go inside. He just... this outfit is silly, right? This demon get-up, this looks like Power Rangers, but with a slightly higher budget. Am I wrong?
No, it looks like Angel.
It doesn't... Yes.
I'm telling you, it looks like Angel.
It doesn't fit this movie.
No. It's a really bad TV pilot with a slightly higher budget, but that makes it worse because it should look better.
Yep.
Makes it a lot worse. Yeah, we don't need to see the blood platelets. This is so stereotypically mid-2000s. We've always got to go in and show what's going on inside because we can now.
Yep.
That's a Smallville move. Did you just say I'm home?
He said,
Oh.
See, because the virus is curing all the vampires. Which, okay, so in this world, vampirism is a virus. Wouldn't you want to cure the virus?
Yeah, you wouldn't want to kill all the vampires. We do have vampires that are born now, though, right?
Yeah. I don't know how you cure that.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that, you cure it, but then you'd have a whole bunch of deviants walking around, because it's not like your soulless vampire thing. They'd still be who they are, right?
Yeah, but now they have no power.
But that would be a real interesting thing. Do that movie.
Yeah.
All the ex-vampires, who are they now? What's their identity now that they no longer have their vampirism?
That was kind of funny.
There's an interesting, commentary on prisons and the prism system. The prison system kind of story to be told with that.
Yeah, we made that point in the last two movies when he was important to the next evolution step of vampires. We did this.
Yeah, wasn't he Anyway.
You know what this movie is?
Blade has been the one already, right?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah.
So...
You guys remember that. The thirst always wins.
Also, not a theme of this movie, and we've made getting away from the thirst easier than it's ever been with a breathalyzer. But
So this is not anything like as tragic as we're playing it.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Blade is not going to have to fight that, really. He's not only worked up a system, but as you say, he's perfected it.
Yeah.
Off screen.
Yeah. Well, in between movies.
But that's off screen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that's a problem, it's just we haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But I'm making the point you made with the first one, where you're not sure if it's actually progressed, or if we just keep making it easier to do visually.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the point you made?
Yeah. Well, it's not, I don't know. Like, it's a thing that we set up, so I guess we have to keep doing it, but we don't actually want to deal with what it is emotionally, and, like, he doesn't have to get in the chair this time, he's just go... Like, it's not a bad idea, like the idea should have been, when you take it to breathalyzer, the idea should be, it's now become too easy and it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
Like I keep making this easier, and now, oh no, like, it doesn't affect me like it used to. What
yeah,
are we supposed to be getting
or
from
maybe
this
there's some kind of, like, trade-off, some kind of side effect thing. Like, what if you made it the Professor X and Days of Future Past thing, where somehow or rather it takes away the bloodlust, but also takes his powers, or some of his powers away, or
hurts him.
Yeah, he gets one of the weaknesses or something.
Hey, look, remember him from earlier in the movie when Dexter's dad was here? He's important.
Oh boy, that looks bad.
Yeah, it looks real bad. So, what this movie is what you think the Blade movies are. Like, somebody who hasn't seen the Blade movies, I bet you this is the movie that they think it is.
Silly.
Yeah.
There's nothing to them. It's just excuse for action and gratuitous violence.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And it's a music video.
And it's dumb.
And it's style over substance.
Yeah.
Oh, and also Deadpool's narrating.
Yep. Ha 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 ha. Why did he do that? While he was dying. What? For who?
Fighting vampires.
What is that supposed to mean?
Well, I guess that just because we got rid of Dracula doesn't mean that we don't still have to deal with vampires.
But the whole thing was that would be an airborne, like, thing that would just get rid of all the vampires.
Did it get out and actually got rid of the vampires?
Yeah, that's what we were seeing when it goes up in the air.
Did it get all of them?
That's what it was
Is that
supposed
the idea?
That was the idea.
Well, then why does are you just saying that because you're like, well, we don't actually have a... We can't really be sequel fodder because we kind of set it up so that we can't really have sequels.
It's a lot
just
more...
saying, later on, don't worry, we will retcon this.
Yeah, and that's one of 3 endings. There's another ending where Blade wakes up and he feeds on someone, and it's like, oh man, maybe Blade's gone bad, like he's given into bloodlust, which of course was a theme of this movie.
All of a sudden, that's a theme in this movie.
There was a third ending.
That would have been just as bad as this, except not as lame.
Look, we're just making this music video now.
Oh, we don't even need to edit this. We're looking at it.
Mm-hmm. The third ending, which maybe we should watch in this commentary. I don't want to tell you what the third ending is. We'll watch it after this. We'll watch it as part of this commentary. We'll go to special features. We'll watch the third ending.
That's fatal! That's fatal!
Yeah, this is just the music video that we've been saying this whole movie was.
Hey, Eric, that's fatal.
Sure.
That's fatal.
Right through a jugular vein? That's fatal! Was this written for or inspired by Blade Trinity?
I actually don't hate it.
Yeah, he was in this movie.
For 16 seconds. Oh, that was so weird. You like to what? What was that? What?
Parker Posey.
I have heard that name.
She's the one in Superman Returns. She's in things. She's the one that I couldn't remember. No, Missy Pyle is that girl.
I've heard her name recently in like something else, like really recent.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look that up.
Missy Pyle's that woman from.
That's Fatal.
She's Penguin's not mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Who you were watching something recently? And I'm like, I know that person. She's in everything. And I looked her up. I was like, oh, her name's Missy Pyle. That's who Missy Pyle is. This is Parker.
Right.
Which is just an unfortunate name to give your child.
Yeah.
Oh, he's credited as Triple H.
Not seeing anything else right away. I don't know. Yeah, I guess that was it. I feel like I heard her something about her recently, but I can't remember what it was. So maybe not. Anyways,
yeah. So that movie happened.
Yeah.
How you feel about this
movie?
So you predicted that you would get to the end of this movie and you would actually like it.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't.
But you get to see Protopool.
Yeah. It's not fatal, but it's pretty bad.
I can't imagine why you
start going around calling everything I don't like fatal. That's gonna be my new thing. Captain Logan called it fatal. He's dead now, and he'll be back again next week to review something else for you.
But this movie sucks. Ryan Reynolds actually holds up in this movie for the most part.
The music in the credits is so much better than the film. And I'm not even saying it's great. I'm bobbing my head. I feel like this music is getting away with what it set out to do, Eric, which was to make me bob my head. The film wanted to do something that it certainly did not accomplish. Because I feel like I was constantly laughing at it, and I wasn't supposed to be doing that.
Except for the Deadpool bits where we were laughing with it.
That all worked. I don't know if it worked for. I don't know if this movie should have been that, but I enjoyed that. Oh man, lake trout. That's fatal. Somebody's totally gonna make a gif of this.
Oh, I'm sure. Don't be scared, baby.
Don't fear the Reaper. Don't fear the Reaper poodles, which are just vampires
I can't see
now.
You, I can only hear you, man.
He sounds thirsty though.
Sure.
Now that song, thirsty, bloodlust and stuff.
Yeah.
Stay with me for a second. This song is either inspired by or they found an R&B track. Because they wanted R&B songs in this that was in the last 6 months or so.
Pixel Magic should
talked
be shamed.
About thirsty. Yeah, yes. The 3D artist too. Yeah, boo 3D artists, boo.
And Hatch FX.
Hack Effects is more like it.
Is there one good CG shot in this movie?
It's all pretty bad.
Oh man, and you should listen to the commentary.
Get rid of the vibro. I did not pick up on the line you mentioned with the vibroblade that it's the power of the sun. You couldn't be anywhere near it. What are you talking about? The sun is a mass of incandescent gas, a gigantic nuclear furnace. Emphasis on nuclear. Where hydrogen converts into helium at a temperature of millions of degrees.
If you listen to the commentary. David Goyer talks about how impressed he is with. He's like nobody knew. It's just CGI. She's not holding anything. It's just CGI. Nobody knew.
I knew.
Oh,
I just find out my glasses.
Now I should mention that if anybody goes back and listens to the commentary and nothing that I've said from the commentary is true, I last listened to it when I was 14 or 15. These are all recollections. The Esperanto thing is 100% true, though. That I remember vividly. They thought that would be funny. And it is funny.
Maybe do yourself a favor and don't go listen to that commentary. I'm thinking, but I haven't. But I mean, it means you have to watch this movie again. And
it's just talking about how great this movie is, and how every choice is just.
This
the best
is
choice.
a really long closing credits.
Shorter than the opening credits of Spider-Man.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
What's weird is we just started a new song, but usually the songs are one of the last things we show. Weapons of Mad Distortion.
Ooh, cool. That's fatal. Yeah. I thought what you were going to say is, usually when we start a new song, it's at a slightly different tempo, so we're not bobbing our head in exactly the same way we were before.
No, this is what they wanted from these credits. Hey, there's Guillermo del Toro. He didn't do anything on this movie.
Eye of Agamotto. What was that about?
Did it say that?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
We'll roll it back when we're not making a commentary. Word! I lost it at that when I first watched this. Yeah, that's.
I didn't know that was there.
I mentioned that in the rewind. There's an after credit scene.
Oh, there's an after credit scene.
There's an after credit scene. I didn't know that.
But you made it to Word?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't remember that. I remembered Word. Oh yeah, he just drives off. I think I complained about that.
That was a great.
It's like he just drives off.
So yeah, what they do in the TV show is they're like, yeah, we solved all the vampires, but we didn't. It was just the vampires in that city.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. But then we decided that the world needs vampires because we want to make a TV show.
And the only person that can play me is Sticky Fingers.
Who's Sticky Fingers?
The actor that plays Blade.
Is that
in the TV show.
That's his name?
His
Sticky Fingers?
I assume it is not his Christian name, but his name is Sticky Fingers.
Was he a wrestler? Like, why is he Sticky Fingers?
There's no special features?
There's online features. Yeah, I guess.
Well, I can't show you that.
Because this was the... What, you don't have it? You don't have this movie? You don't own this movie? You don't have this in your... This prized film in your collection?
I used to.
Yeah, sometimes... When you get these, 4 films favorites collection, you don't get all the special features. That was probably a double disc, is my guess.
Okay, so I'll just tell you, the third ending to this movie is there's a bar, there's like a club,
and it's set this low.
And
that's the bar. It's set.
And Hannibal and Abby come in, and oh no, there's a werewolf.
What?
Yep.
That's great.
And it was like, oh man, there's other things they could be hunting.
Yeah.
Setting up the Night Stalkers movie.
So yeah. Yep. It's like, we got rid of vampires, but now we got these things.
Yep.
What are we gonna do?
Luckily, everything's already made in silver.
Everything. Well, everybody, thanks so much for watching. We sure appreciate it. And what will we be...
Blah, 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 blah.
You just give me 5 seconds. I'll get it together. What will we be watching tomorrow?
Please tell me it's not Electra.
I think it might be Electra. All right, let's check real quick.
Fingers crossed, not Electra. I've never finished. I know you know this. I don't know if I brought this up. I've never finished Electra. I thought it was so boring I could not finish it.
I realize there's an audience. You feel free to say things you've said before. It's totally cool. All right, so we have Blade Trinity. And a little bit later, we're going to have Fantastic Four. And after that, we're going to have X-Men The Last Stand. Then we have Ghost Rider.
No, it's Electra!
It's Electra! We got nothing but not good to bad movies for a good... until Iron Man. It's nothing but not good.
So the bad movies start, Spider-Man 2, Blade Trinity,
Would you stop that? Would you stop that?
X-Men The Last
Stop
Stand.
it!
I mean, Ghost Rider's a step up from all of those movies.
But it's still, like I said, not good to just awful. Rise of the Silver Surfer. It's not till Iron Man.
It's just a slog until Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
This is gonna be great.
Oh man.
I can't wait.
To be fair, I think of all of these, the least watchable is probably Electra.
Caffeine or alcohol. Caffeine or alcohol. How are we going to get through it?
Boring. The Last Stand's gonna be hard to counter.
So caffeine then. There.
Yeah. We know. Oh man. Oh man.
I'm so excited.
We quit.
No, we don't. No, we don't. We will see you tomorrow for Electra. I will have him. I will have Eric tied to a chair with a with a boot with a heel sticking out of his shoulder if I have to.
You are going to have to intravenous drip just like pure sugar into me. I couldn't finish that movie. I watched Catwoman.
Next
I finished
time-
Catwoman. I watched this multiple times. I couldn't finish Electra.
Next time you'll see how many times I have to punch Eric in the face in order to get through Electra. And in the meantime, I am Captain Logan. Thanks for watching. See you next time.